So I'm recording off my, that's how we're going to do it. Okay, we are back. We're live. We've lost our online. Your friend can rejoin, okay? You can just tell her or him. And we're good. It's very low tech. And anybody have their cards ready? Thank you, Kiki. Okay, thank you. Any others? Great. Just over here. Gentlemen, what's your name? Ruben. Nice to meet you. And name? Ayo. Ayo. Yeah. Have you been in another class of mine? Ayo rings a bell. Okay, so Ruben, Ayo, and you're still working on it. Okay, Ruben, Ayo, working on human memory now. And it's Ibrahim over here. Okay, who's next? I'm not going to remember every name. What's your name? Ashwin. Welcome, Ashwin. Yeah, Cheyenne? Yeah, Shazam. Cheyenne. Okay. Good. In a moment, I'll get them all. Thank you. I'll get you all your names later. I just have to keep moving around. Thank you. Okay. So, there's A of AI. I think they're back up there. Okay, our one online student. Okay, that's all right. But we will manage, and I will bring this back here. So, okay, good. Hello, Arya. You're back. AIs or a friend. Excellent. Okay, so we're not going to crash now because I've not used YouTube at the moment and I'm using less bandwidth right now. So I'm recording off of here. So, Arya, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you in the live chat to take a moment and write in nice English, full English, nice clear sentence, what you hope to gain from this class. Okay? Good. Others are coming back, and I will explain in a moment. Great. So let me just come around and Melissa, right? Yeah, Melissa. Okay, look at all the names. Yes. Your name is Brendan. Brendan. I like Brendan. Yeah, thank you. And what's your name? Eris. Nice, Eris. Nice to meet you. We have you as well, and thank you. Okay. So let's see what else we can be doing. What we can be doing while we're just getting this all finished is I would like the students who have finished their cards to go over to the board and write down your full name. So get that onboard list completed. So Melissa and Nikki and others, everybody who's handed in, just take a pen and I'll show you how it's done, okay? This is the beginning of our PowerPoint slides. And let's watch how this works. So, first, it's not Shazade. Could you go ahead and start writing? Okay, you'll see it's very sensitive. You'll see the pen. So just touch it, and you'll see. There we go. And then if you want to rub it off, you do that. Okay. So go ahead and write Shazade, your full name. This is how I'm going to do attendance and everything. Okay. Excellent. So keep going. Yep. And Melissa, watch this because you'll be the one to do this. When you have to move the slide, you'll put your finger down here and I'll show you. Okay? But for now, let's get the names. Great. Okay? Any other, just hold up your hand if you have your card done. And then after you've done that, please go and put your name on the board. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, finally I'm going to get the correct pronunciation. So it's, just tell me N, it's Anne. I? Yeah. Just I? Yeah. Okay, I. I can't wait to tell my wife that story tonight. AI classroom. Okay, I and Ari. Okay, good. So, excellent, Ibrahim. So then put your full name up there when you're done, and then we're going to continue with the next part of the class. Okay, so we're just nice. Okay. Yes, you can't, Arya, because we have tech issues today, which means that the camera can only be the camera on my laptop at the podium. I can't use the cameras in the classroom today to move around. Normally, you would see this. You would see them all there. You would see the whole room, but not today. we'll get it fixed next week. Okay, Arya? So that's the answer to your comment in the live chat. But Zaina, like Arya, I'd like you to put into the live chat what you hope to gain from this class. Okay? Yeah. Zaina, did you just hear me explain the answer to that? Yeah, great. Okay, so everybody's putting their names up on the board, and we have some good cards here. And we're going to carry on in a moment, and all of you are going to be meeting each other. But I will explain. So let's make sure that we get everybody on board. And when that card finishes, when that whoever Melissa can, she can come, but I'll show you as well. Let's just watch. Take the pen away for a second. When you want to switch the card, you do that. Okay. So go ahead, put your name. Yep. And keep it. And if you need to rub it off, you just do that. Okay. This will all be available to you later on DC Connect. Okay. So let's keep going. We're getting everybody on board. Now, Arya and Zaina, please write down your full names in the live chat. That's how I'll know that you were here. I need to see your full names. Good. We've got that under control. And good, Arya Patel. And then Zaina. Let me just check and see. Our recording is still working. I'm not going to touch that. I can save. So we will have a recording. And why don't I do this full screen for now so that everybody can see the live chat clearly? Nice. Although it's, oh, God, that's hard on the eyes with, whoa. Okay, forget that. So we're going to just come back to a smaller screen. We'll do this over here. That may affect the recording, but no big deal. And just for fun, let's bring in something that maybe all of you are not completely aware of. And whoopsie daisy. Here we go. Let's bring this in. This is a live view of planet Earth. Oops, but we need to get that. Stay there. Nice. And we'll move that a little bit. Okay. Do that over here. That over here. And there we go. All right, so to help us a little bit, it's a little dark. Go back to your seats and I'll explain in a moment the next activity we're going to do. Is I just want to put that up here because we're going to talk a lot about that. Are any of you familiar with the International Space Station's live view of planet Earth? Yep. Nick, you are? Kiki. Kiki. Thank you. That correctly. Kiki. How many others here are familiar with the International Space Station's live view of planet Earth? Camera high definition camera, Melissa is. That's what you're looking at right now. Up there, about 428 kilometers off the planet, the International Space Station is going around the planet. It takes about 90 minutes. There's a camera underneath it, high definition camera, and it shows us what the space station is looking at as it moves at. And I'll just check on the speed. Usually they have the speed. It's somewhere around 26,000 kilometers a second. It's moving at right now at cosmic speed. And right now, the space station is over North Darfur State in the Sudan. And I can show you a map of the world in another class. But I'd like to just orient you to something about humanity's destiny. You are coming into a time in history where it's very important to always have this planetary view, to be able to think in that broader way about what's happening on planet Earth. We do that regularly now. So I will usually have this up on the screen, in a window on the screen normally when everything is working properly. And we will be able to talk always and have a reference of the planetary view. Good. Keep going. Jacob Woodward, Adam Pucci, Jacob Jose, Brendan Peters, Julian Supers, Masum, Harris, Ashram. I could go on. You're all on board today in Humanity's Destiny. Now, because we're now in a period where we will always have this happen in our class every week, it's kind of like that 3 o'clock sort of dead time, the doldrums, where people get a little tired and distracted. So here's what I'm going to suggest first for today. I'd like you all to stand right now, and we're going to do a little activity. Part of this to energize you, but also part of it is to kind of get you ready for the next activity. And I'm just going to count and see. Stay standing for a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1. Okay, maybe there's 22. We'll see. It might even out. I would like half the class in a moment to come up here and stand shoulder to shoulder looking this way. So that would mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 over here. All you 10, including Ayo, is it, to come over here and stand shoulder to shoulder facing that way, okay? I will explain in a moment. So, gentlemen, finish what you've written. If you've finished, come stand over here, okay? So have you all written your names on the board? Great. Could you come over and we're going to do a little speed kind of meeting, or not quite dating, just meeting. No dating. But some kind of magic may happen when you talk to each other. I'll let you decide later if you believe that magic has happened. Okay, we'll move this, so come all the way down here. Great, excellent. Okay, so, and this is starting to look like, a dating reality show or something. Oh, guys, I'm sorry about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, over here. Kiki, over here. Ayo, over here, please. And Ibrahim, have you written your name? Okay, Ibrahim, did you come over here? So let's make sure we have our reality show. I want to marry you all. Okay. 1, 2.
You're a little too late.
Oh, a little too late. Oh, you're taken. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now here's what I want. Is the rest of you, I'd like you all to come and face them. One person faces another person. So all stand in a line, and it should be reasonably close. So, Melissa, could you stand in front of Ibrahim like this? Okay, great. And Shazib, could you stand in front of Ayo, like Melissa standing in front of Ibrahim? And then Kiki, Brandon, could you stand in front of Kiki like that? And then the rest of you just line up in front of somebody, okay? And then I'll see how we're doing, okay? But it should be everybody is facing somebody, okay? So let's just see if we've got an even number. It may be an odd number, so I'll deal with that. So, sure, you can start here. Brendan, you lost your moment with Kiki, but that's okay. You will have a chance to meet her later. She's already taken. Okay, so Brendan, you will stand in front of Jacob, okay? And Adam, okay, Adam is in front of Ashwin. Yeah, Ashwin, I saw it up there somewhere. Okay, good. So everybody should be in front of somebody, one person, okay? Let's just see how this, and we may have to make room. So do you want to stand over here? And what's your name? Thurston, you stand over here. And could you come over here? What's your name again? Cheyenne. Okay. Is everybody in front of one person? It's not bunching up? Okay, then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to join I and Cheyenne. Yeah. And you're going to be one person. You're going to move like one person, okay? So could you just stand next to her? Is this getting too close for comfort? Human beings facing human beings. This is good. Now, what I'd like all of you to do is, when I say go, I'd like this line to tell the other person kind of what you're hoping to achieve in the class. So you can say anything you want, but I would really like you to talk about what you're expecting in this class, because we're going to take this up afterwards, okay? So then, what's your name? Jasmeet. Jasmeet, nice. Jasmeet, you're going to listen to Kiki, and then Kiki, you tell Jasmeet the same, and you have a little chat about the class and what you expect. Then I'm going to say switch in about 3 or 4 minutes. And everybody's going to take a step to the left. Everybody's going to move left. 1 step like this. And you will be standing in front of a new person. You don't step to your right, you step to the left. And if you're at the end, you come around. Okay? And that way, I'm going to move this line along. Do you follow what I'm doing? More or less? And then we're going to take this up together. We're going to make some good notes, and we're essentially going to be done with the class. We'll talk about other things too, but we're just going to take it step by step. So, any questions on what I'm asking you to do? On your marks, get set, go. Great. Arya and Zaina, did you just hear the instructions I gave to the in-person students? Let's see. Just let me know in the live chat if you heard my instructions to the rest of the class. Okay, let me just... Hi, Arya and Zaina. Oh, I'm just talking to them, the online group. Sorry. Keep going. Keep talking to your fellow student, okay? And I'm now talking to the onliners. Keep going. Yep. Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, switch. Step to your left, 1, and you should be in front of a new. At the end of the lines, you come around, and let's see how that goes. There should not be a train wreck at the end of a line. You should actually just come around.
You're right.
Go to the left.
Sorry.
Go to the left, exactly. So A and Shazib, you are moving as one person, okay?
So we also move?
Oh, Shazib, wait a minute. You are not attached to A today. You're moving as a single entity. The 2 of you will move as one person, okay? Just to keep it all even. You'll see. So, are we good over here? Have you spoken yet with Melissa? Okay, good. So you're all good here. Are you all standing in front of a new person?
Yes.
Good. How about here? This is where things get tricky sometimes. Are you standing in front of a new person? Then I think we've got an even number again. So now I can separate the 2. A, you could be here, and Shazib? Cheyenne. Good, Cheyenne. And Shazib. Well, let's now speak to each other. There might be a bit of bunching up. Yeah, and you join. You can be. You're going to be as one person. Okay, you're talking to Adam. All right. Good. Keep going, guys. Okay, so now I am speaking just to the students watching the recording. I see in the cosmos that is outside of our spaceship in the classroom that Arya is no longer with us, and Zaina as well, and others have abandoned ship. No, it's not so bad. We've had some tech issues this class. So, really, I'm just speaking now to the students watching the recording later. And at the moment, we're doing an activity together. There are about 20 students in person. And I will explain in a moment more about what that activity is. I just need to check on them now. I have some cards as well. Some cards that were written. And the students haven't heard these yet. I see some. Let's see. What's your name? Jacob? Okay, Jacob. And are you with what's your name? Hamza. Hamza. So, Jacob, Hamza, what you wrote something on the card, right? You wrote the card. Tell me afterwards. Good job. Let's see if you have something else you can talk about. Will you introduce yourself? Great. Okay, good. Okay, everybody, switch. One more. Make it step around. Go to your left. Melissa, you come this way. Exactly. Yeah, left. So you're going to come left. You always take a step left. Yeah, that's right. Come around. Okay, you're to your left. And sure. Okay, sure. And everybody should be in front of a new person. And carry on, okay? We're going to stop this in a moment and we're going to take up the activity together. Keep going. Okay? Great. Yes. No problem. No, that's fine. I understand. But I would recommend you check the recording later so you can catch up on what we talked about afterwards. Okay? But you will always have this option. Generally, when you come to the class, I would much prefer you to stay in the class and not move. Yeah, exactly. If you think you might be called during the class, then I would suggest that you either join online or you just watch the recording later. Okay?
I don't usually get calls about like 1 hour before. Other than this, I don't get calls like once a week. But right now it's just like the log that I have right now. But yeah, I like the class. I would come to class every day, every time, like what is it, Wednesday? I would come every other Wednesday. Yeah, but right now it's just the backlog that I have.
That's fine.
So
That's
if
okay.
it's not
Sure.
an issue, then I would leave.
And what's your name?
Zubair.
How do you spell?
ZUBIRE.
Yeah. Okay, Zubair.
Yeah,
Zubair.
that's
Okay,
what it is.
so make sure that you go to the discussion board on DC Connect tomorrow. I will be posting some instructions for what to do for some homework. Okay.
And then we also just like post something in that
Yes,
discussion, right?
yes,
We
yeah, I
have
will
a
be-
week or something.
every week I will
Every
be
week,
giving you
okay.
something.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah.
Okay.
I will do
So
that.
make sure you do that, and then you will get the full participation marks.
Wonderful. I hope it's not a bad thing. It's
No, don't. It's
yeah.
okay.
I
Just
kind of
as
feel
long as
bad,
I understand, it's the first class.
Okay, wonderful.
See you next week.
All right. I'm sorry about
Okay, not a problem. One more time, take a step to the left, and then we're going to take it up together. So one more step. Meet one more person. So A, you take a step to the left. And Jared? Jacob. Jack. Okay. So Jack, you're moving down one. A's moving down one. You're going to meet, I'll get all your names in a moment. Have you, Hamza and A, have you met yet? Good. And you should meet right now, okay? Gentlemen? Okay. Mr. Blesser. That's it. Keep going, okay? So Ibrahim, you and Adam, I think it is, are speaking there. And I think Ayo is missing. So here's what I would suggest. Ayo, have a little chat, okay? Good. Okay. Ayo. Very good. Ayo. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Okay. So, Sneha. Sneha, are you there? It is Lon at the podium. I see you in the cosmos. All right. Well, let's come back to the space station. Could you please all return to your seats? Hey, way to go. Thank you. All right. So I just want to make sure that what I'm about to do is okay with you, which is that we will end the class 15 minutes early at 3:45, but we won't take a break officially now because that means that then, well, we've hit the waves with our surfboards. And when I call you back to the beach and I say, yeah, come back to the beach with your boards and then let's go out again, a lot of you are just going to walk away with your surfboards and you're never going to come back to the beach, if you understand my metaphor. However, if you feel a special urge and you must get to that washroom, you're free to do that. But what I won't let you do unless you have a real emergency, which is to go out to respond to a text or something that just came in online, unless it's very, very, very important. Okay? Is that okay? We'll end 15 minutes early. We just won't take the break, but I'm not going to, hold you hostage from nature's calling. Great. Okay, so I have put the space station up there full screen. Normally, that's what everybody would see with that wonderful camera. And I've let the online group kind of disappear into my computer because there really is only just one or two people online right now. I think once we crashed the class, a lot of them left. So it's okay. You don't need to see who's online. It's just a little circle, an icon. What matters is this. That's the space station. Are we live? Yeah, we're live over Russia. It's nighttime there. And it's not because they've been bombed by Ukraine. However, it could be
Other way
possible. War and conflict and hatred and cruelty. And where are we going in this world of potential global war is coming later in the course. We will be dealing with all these topics. Today is just get a sense of this interaction and the energy of the class. And I need to review these cards with you. So that's what we're going to do today is we're going to make sure that you understand what you hope to gain from this class, and I need to commit to that. My pledge to you, so that you know that when you come to this class every week, I'm going to be delivering what you want. I know what I want to teach, but I need to be able to teach it in a way that's a little more organic, which is based on what you're asking me to teach, what you need to know, what you think you need to know. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to take these things up. Now, this could be a little bit stressful because I can't do the writing over there now. I need a student to volunteer to do the writing. And I can actually sweeten the pot a little bit, make it worth your while a little bit by saying that if you volunteer to be the scribe of the notes, the GC notes that are about to be composed together, the real-time live PowerPoint slides in which you have to put your name to it. Take Up by Melissa or Take Up by Depeche Mode. That's something else. That's something else. You are authoring these notes for eternity because the PDF will be made. These notes will be shared with everybody. These notes will be studied as part of your reflections and essays and assignments that you do. So these notes are important. And in addition, you are doing something that is so important to humanity. You are writing. You are displaying your knowledge. So if you do that, you will not have to do any after-class activity for full participation marks. You will simply walk out of here at the end of today's class, having attended. You will get your 5 out of 5 for participation, or 2.5%. You got it. So who would like to be that person? This is hard because the way you write, what you write, will be seen by everybody. It's not just this. See, nobody ever really wants to do this. But the truth is, you must be able to do this because it's so important. We all must be able to take good notes without the help of ChatGPT. This is hard. I use ChatGPT too, so I understand the temptation. Did I see Melissa Melissa, you've displayed from the beginning. You were here, you're in the pit, the nucleus, along with Shazib and Kiki. Please go stand there and continue getting your full 5 out of 5, 100%, 2.5% today. Now, before she does that, she's going to stand there. I need to explain a little bit more about how the marking is going to work for the whole class this semester. Okay, so I'd like us to make a few notes on this. So, Melissa, could you please write down marks this semester, just under Take Up? It's a little disorganized. We should actually have another slide that says marks, but it's okay. It will be down there, marks. Okay. You have 3 ways of participating in this class this semester, as you know if you read the DC Connect note. Every week you can make this decision. Do I go to Humanities Destiny on Wednesday from 2 to 4 in person this week? Do I join it online because I can't quite make it in, or I can't even join online, too much going on? Do I watch the recording of the class and look at the resources in the class folder? If you do the first of the three, meaning you come in person, here's how you get your 5 out of 5, 2.5% participation mark. Most of it you're getting from having just come in person. So we'll call the in-person group, Melissa, in person. What do you do at the end of the class to get your full 5 out of 5? You go to the discussion board, which I will create tomorrow in DC Connect, and all you do is you write down one question. That's it. One question that you think is important to ask based on what we covered in the class. That's it. So let's make sure Melissa gets this down. And it looks like we're lucky. Not only do we have a Shazam, we have an AI, but we also have somebody who writes nicely, with nice handwriting. A human who can actually write with her own hand and not use a keyboard, not use a machine to do it. Good. Write one question in the discussion board, that's it, and you get your 5 out of 5. Does that make sense? So all of you today, after this class, before next week's class, you will have a full week to do this, but I would recommend you do it as soon as possible after the class. You go to the discussion board. I will post that board tomorrow. It should be there, but it may not be in DC Connect. Are you able to go to DC Connect right now? Could you go to DC Connect for Humanities Destiny for a moment and just double check Kiki and see what's there? Is it there?
It's here.
Yeah, it's there. See, I didn't even know what I did last night. I mean, I did it and I was thinking about it. So I did put it there last night. Great. Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kiki, being a sort of, she's on to things. She's probably already put a question there. Right, Kiki?
Not yet.
Not quite. Okay, but you're on. Okay, so that's all you do, the question. For the synchronous group, the others who were online, to get their full marks, they would do, if they want partial marks, like 3 out of 5, they have to just put the question too. If they want full marks, they've got to do what the asynchronous group does. Every week, for the asynchronous group, if they choose to just watch the recording in the same discussion board, the same place where everybody is posting something about that week's class, but they have to put the question, and here is the work. They have to write 200 to 225 words on why they've asked that question. So let's make sure Melissa has this in the notes. Let's make sure you understand this, because you have the freedom and the flexibility to participate in this class in different ways. It's an open global classroom, and I designed it that way. But the heavier workload each week comes to those who don't come in person. The ones who come in person, it's a little easier because they've shown up. Okay? Making sense? So let's see, Melissa, what do you have so far in the notes? You have in-person and synchronous, so just do asynchronous, and I think she's even spelling it correctly, which is another sign of, yeah, you are.
Oh,
Oh.
you said she didn't.
No, you're spelling in nice, clear handwriting, and you wouldn't believe how many students today, they can speak and they have great ideas, but when they start to write, they can't write. Like they need their device. This is not good. But some students have disabilities, and I'm totally on your side. I know about those students. I get emails in advance, and I always help those students. So if you are among those students who has a documented disability and you felt somehow uncomfortable with what I just said, please don't. I will always help you with the writing on the side by getting you a tutor. But my point is, for you to be a human being in the world today, ready for the future, you have to be able to pick up a pen and do what Melissa is doing. So, yeah, you got it. Right in the discussion post. 2.5, that's right, 2.5%, 5 out of 5, right? Maximum 225 words, 220 to 225, and you get that full 5 out of 5, okay? So next week you have a choice. Everybody good? Everybody clear? You understand? Okay, let's make sure that those in the cosmos are here, but they're kind of here. So I'm not going to worry too much about them right now. Okay? All right. Very good. So I'd like to spend the final 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll end a little bit earlier actually, by taking these up with all of you, because I really would like to know what you've said privately on your card. And I'd like Melissa to be able to list out for all of us some critical ideas that have come from you. So this is good. This is where we're going to see what you really do want based on your conversation. And so, why don't we call this slide, Melissa, What We Want? What we want. And I will help with the language. So as I go through these and read them out, I will kind of put it into a language that Melissa can work with, but we'll see, okay? We're going to just do this together. Yes, bless you. So I'm going to start. And I have a card here. And Melissa, as you are hearing these cards, here comes the more interesting part. I'm going to let Melissa, as she hears these cards, decide if she would like to write in a very, very brief way. In other words, she has to display human critical thinking, processing of information. She is actually going to hear something read, and then she's going to have to stand there without a device, without Google, without a website, without ChatGPT, without any machine to help her. And in front of the class, she is going to have to think on her feet. Our destiny as humans, you will see week to week as I look at all the different topics that we go through. Next week it will be more structured. It will be a little lecture. I'll explain next week. This week it's a little more open. But one thing you're going to see again and again and again through this whole class this semester is me trying to remind you of what is a human being. What is a human? What do humans bring to the table that a machine can't? Because the reality of your future today is that you're entering a work world even now as we speak, where CEOs and presidents and others are saying, if you don't do what AI does, we won't hire you. You have to be able to do more than AI. What a time you are living in. It is incredible, but also unsettling. Imagine going into a job interview and you have to say, well, this is what I bring. And then the interviewer says, well, wait a minute, I've got my AI who does the same thing. Why should I hire you? So what does the human bring to the table? That is going to be running through this whole semester because this is where we are in history. But I think Kiki wants to say something and then we'll come to the part. You want to say something to that?
Yeah, easy. You do the physical stuff. AI can't do the physical stuff.
That's interesting.
AI can't repair its own hardware, can it?
I'm not so sure about that. maybe she's right. I can't answer that yet, but we're
You
going to
always
talk.
need the human.
What's that?
You always need the human at the end of the day. You always need the human to do
Could you
the
make a separate on just the other side brainstorm? Brainstorm, and then put. That's good. You can make another slide and put Kiki said. With this, you're going to learn from each other. In this part of the class, when we take things up together, I'm going to try and extract out of you, or at least reel you in and help you to say something that is full of insight. And then it goes into the notes. And then you walk away from the class going, but geez, I just learned from my students here in the class just as much as the professor. And that's as it should be. When humans get together, they should learn from each other, not just you sitting passively, quietly, while you listen to a professor, and then you go home and you read the PowerPoint. That is old education, and that makes us slow, that makes us unable to keep up with the world that is moving very fast. So we've got to learn together, and we've got to listen to each other, and we have to pay attention to each other, and not just expect our machine to do it. So Kiki just said, we always need humans. Ooh, well, we will return to that through the semester. I'm not so sure she's right anymore. And that's a very disturbing and interesting comment. Go back to the other slide. Thank you. Way to go. Lovely statement. I hope there will be many students who say things, and I will put right up there. Kiki said, is it Adam? Adam said, and Brendan said, and Ibrahim said, and Shazammed us all. Okay, let's get a few of these, and then we're going to be done. So this student who did not give his or her name wrote, and Melissa's now going to listen to this, and if she feels she can kind of put this into a few words, she can write it in terms of what this student wants, okay? If not, we will help her. What we want. Well, whoops. I would like to be confident and speak in front of big or small audience and also know more about human destiny. So whoever wrote this is not writing proper English. Okay, that's okay. Lots of students. Whoever, you know who you are who wrote this. You might need to go to a tutor before you start writing the discussion post because you haven't written a complete English sentence. You know who you are. I would like to be confident and speak in front of big or small audience and also know more about human destiny. Okay, we won't take the student task for the writing. Okay, Melissa's got it. What we want, be confident. Lovely. And she's getting it, in which is, can I distill that down to a couple of words? She just used human reasoning, human attentiveness. She listened, and she acted. She wrote. I'm not so sure the ChatGPT or the machine could quite do it that way because Melissa gets the context. She knows what's happening in the classroom. The machine would only know what it was just told to do or not to do. It doesn't get context the way humans do. Okay. We want to be confident. That's an interesting request in a class about our destiny, but we'll just leave that for a moment, okay? And read. In this class, I hope to achieve a better understanding of the future of the world and the challenge we can face and how we can prevent those challenges. Oops, those challenge. Ooh, we got a spelling. The person put their name here, but I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to, single this student out. But you know who you are. In this class, I hope to achieve a better understanding of the future of the world and the challenge we can face and how we can prevent those challenge. You know what the mistake is in writing, don't you? Plural, singular, we got it, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to rip this up. It's just going to go over here. What was that actually containing? Let's see what Melissa says. She's our bot. The bot. No, she's not really a bot. She's a human. It's being processed through the human now, not the bot. Not the machine. It's being processed through the brain. Billions of neurons. Something like 18 billion nerve cells, neurons, and I'll get into that later about cells and what humans are made of and what cells do and what DNA is, how we're made, and why the neurons and all that neural activity of communication being sent from one neuron to another through synapses and how all of that works and why that is unique. And no machine has that. As much as Elon Musk wants to create a neural network, and Geoffrey Hinton, who just won the Nobel Prize from the University of Toronto for being the godfather of AI, we're way, way behind in terms of creating a neural synthetic brain. It took millions of years of evolution to create this incredible thing called the human brain. And we're watching it on display right now in Melissa.
I only understand like 10% of it. How are we going to make one if we only understand 10% of it?
Even less, Melissa. The final class of this semester is going to be all about neuroscience. It's going to be all about the human brain because in order to understand our future on the planet, we need to understand more about what the human brain can and can't do. You may have noticed something. Humans dictate what happens on planet Earth these days. No God, no gods, no supernatural force, no divine creature. It is humans and their brains that do it all here. And we're not doing it so well. We've got these great machines, but we're spiritually and morally and emotionally, in some ways, very, very backward. It has been said by many world historians that what humanity needs is a social and moral revolution to come to the same level of the technological revolution that has led to all of these incredible machines. We're far from that, but we've got our big guns. We've got our big toys. But do we really know what to do with them? Really? Well, okay. Let's do a couple more, and then we're going to call it a class, okay? Melissa's got it. How to prevent future challenges of the world? Challenges of the world. Yeah, we can leave that. The preposition of instead of in. It's good. No, I think we can accept that. I love language. I love writing, and I love to be able to create beautiful sentences because I think that displays critical thinking at one of its highest forms. Language used well. You know, when you listen to somebody who speaks well, you know you're listening to something significant. And everybody likes that. Everybody likes to hear language used well. The question is, who does it well? From this class, I hope to understand what is coming, a look into the future that is built with the positive or negative consequences of the increasingly technology dependent and exponentially modernizing version of the humankind that exists today. There's a lot going on in this sentence. It's beautiful. No, there's a lot. Whoever wrote this, you got a lot of meat on that bone, but we got to kind of, maybe divide and conquer that meat, that bone, and put this part over here. But thank you for all that. We got pork here. We got beef. We got hamburger. It's rich. From this class, I hope to understand what is coming, a look into the future that is built with the positive or negative consequences of the increasingly technology-dependent and exponentially modernizing version of the humankind that exists today. This makes sense, but there's a lot here. Let's try it once more for Melissa, okay, and then we'll see. From this class, I hope to understand what is coming. A look into the future that is built with the positive or negative consequences of the increasingly technology-dependent and exponentially modernizing version of the humankind that exists today. I love this because the student really did pay attention. In one sentence, he or she gave a whole bunch of things. It's just a little rough around the edges. These skates need to be sharpened. I feel when I skate in this, I'm like sliding all over the ice. There's too much going on here. We've got to sharpen up the skates. Let's see what Melissa interpreted, okay? We've read this 3 times. Do you want me to read it once more, Melissa? Let's see what she says. Understanding the modernized future. We try this again. From this class, I hope to understand what is coming. Comma. A look into the future that is built with the positive or negative consequences of the increasingly technology-dependent and exponentially modernizing version of the humankind that exists today. This student is saying something. It's very good. I'm going to help Melissa, and you may also be able to help. What do you think is the critical thing that this student said in maybe 4 or 5 words? What we want. What does this student want? This student wants to understand. Definitely. Understanding what is coming for us with all the tech. I can live with that. Shazib?
I think the student might be talking about the human, like the effect of human progression
Yes.
technology and stuff on
Yeah.
human progression.
On the human.
Yeah, something like that.
This is there, but we'll keep going with Melissa. Very important, Shazib, in what you've said, because the student says the consequences of the increasingly technology-dependent and exponential. So the student is making a case here and saying, I want to understand what's happening to us humans. What are we becoming? That may seem like a very abstract, huge thing. But actually, as Stephen Hawking once said, Stephen Hawking, one of our great physicists, a physicist is a scientist who studies the structures of the universe, Albert Einstein.
Jeffrey Epstein.
What's that?
I said, and a great friend of Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, don't tell me. But, okay, we will keep that part.
That aside, he was a great physicist.
You know, Kiki mentioned something interesting. First, we don't know that for a fact. But I can tell you something about Stephen Hawking that you may find hard to stomach. But it's important to say, but I will only say it so that you understand he was ultimately a human being in the end, struggling to feel something in that awful affliction that he had. How many of you have seen the movie about his life, Stephen Hawking? How many of you have read Brief History of Time and know his book, Brief History of Time, or others? Stephen Hawking is one of the great minds of the 20th century. He was a scientist, a physicist, who was completely wheelchair-bound. He was completely paralyzed by the disease, which I forget what it was.
ALS, I believe.
Was it ALS? It rendered him unable to even speak. You probably have seen him or a picture or a video of him speaking through a device. in his wheelchair, talking about the universe and about humanity and the future of humanity. And he did that through a machine that helped him. Thank God for technology. It was said in the movie that Stephen Hawking needed a little bit of pornography.
Who doesn't?
Well, we could have this discussion, okay, about, human desire and what humans are doing today in order to satisfy their needs. Sometimes that's something else. We can have that discussion. And I say this not in any way to kind of diminish what he achieved, quite the opposite. What a phenomenal individual that lived until his 70s. He lived with this affliction. He lived in a wheelchair. He had a machine that was communicating to the world. He gave us books. He gave us thoughts. He gave us theories. And boy, did he suffer. So I think we can, if it's true, that he needed, and maybe it might be true, we don't know. I hope it wasn't that Kiki, that he needed a little bit of help from a person who killed himself in jail, Jeffrey Epstein, because he became a kind of a organizer of young women serving as young, unwilling prostitutes, rich and powerful men.
Prostitutes, they weren't paid. Moving on.
That's true, but we could talk about this. He was a human being in the end, and he did phenomenal things. And let's not forget this, okay? But we humans, we're not machines. As Leonard Cohen, a great songwriter and poet, said, only where there's a crack can the light get in. It's a beautiful line. Absolutely so perfect in explaining something about humanity that's different from a machine. Out of the crooked timber of humanity, something great was made. We're struggling. We make mistakes. We have cracks, mental cracks. Things go wrong. But in those cracks, think about how beautiful this is. Only the light can in. If it's all perfect and all the cracks are just whitewashed over, what can get inside? It's just perfect. One thing we will continue to return to in different ways with your help is what is a human being and what is a machine, and why a human has something that no machine could ever have. And that's humanity. That's compassion. That's rising and learning from your mistakes and being greater than your weaknesses. Overcoming. That's where the light is. Anyways, we're getting a little spiritual, a little transcendent, but we will talk about the future of religion in another class. I think that for the moment, we're done for today's class. I'd like to thank Melissa. Just give Melissa a little hand. I'll save that. Thank you. You can walk away. You have your full marks. I will save that. All of you need to know what you have to do for next week's full marks, or I should say this week, which is your question. Next week, the topic is going to be how do we think about the future in realistic ways. We've got future religion, space exploration, science, the brain, all sorts of things coming around humanity's destiny. But I hope today you have a sense of what this class could do for you. Okay? I'll see you next week. Thank you. And for those of you who have stuck with us, online. Zaina has written, good job, Melissa. Thank you, Zaina. And next week, hopefully, we'll have everything fixed with our cameras. And for those of you online as well, my apologies about the tech today, but it is what it is. So don't forget to go to the discussion board, excuse me, at the end of today's class for all of you. For those of you watching the recording, you have a full reflection to do for next week to get that 5 out of 5. Okay? So if you have any trouble understanding what I've said, excuse me, just shoot me an email. Okay? So I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Okay, and let me just shut down the. I've got that. Stop the recording.